welcome back to our podcast. Today we're here with Jasveet Singh from Sober Immigration, who has some great updates from us with all the new and latest that's going on in Immigration Canada. Welcome, Jasveet.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your award, winning the Canadian Choice Awards.
Thank you, Ashley.
Great accomplishment. We're very proud of you.
Thank you again.
So, Jasveet, as we're aware, Canada has made some major changes to the immigration, especially for the students.
Yeah.
What are these changes and what are the main key points that we should know?
There are four main key points, Ashley. And these changes are good for some people. These changes are not great news, not a great news for many people. There are four major points that we need to keep in mind. These changes are first, number one, spousal open work permit. Earlier, spousal open work permit, the spouses of students who are inside Canada studying for 1 year or 2 year program, their spouses can apply spousal open work permit. Now they have not issued any deadline. They didn't came up with the deadline after this will not be applied, will not be able to apply. But yes, they have clearly stated, the minister has clearly stated that this will not, that the spousal open work permit will not be issued anymore to students, to spouses of students who are inside Canada studying for 1 year or 2 year program. Spousal open work permit will be issued to spouses of students who are coming to Canada to study masters or PhD.
Okay.
So they don't want spouses of students who are coming to do diploma 1 year or 2 year programs. Okay, they just want to pause this for next 2 years. They don't want people inside Canada like with this speed. So this is one of the steps they have taken. Second is they will not be issuing postgraduate work permit to students studying from private colleges which are affiliated with public colleges. Okay, it was kind of affecting the education quality. So now, after so many complaints and issues with the students, with colleges, things like that, they have stopped this. Third, they will be issuing 3 years work permit (PGWP) to only students who are coming to Canada to study masters and PhD. If you study 2 year program, you will not be getting 3 years work permit. Probably you will be getting 16 or 17 months work permit. If you are doing 1 year program, you will be getting 8 months or 9 months or 10 months work permit. Nobody will be getting 3 years work permit. Only if you do masters and PhD, you will get 3 years work permit. Master degree holders, like students who are coming for masters and PhD, they can only, their spouses can apply spousal open work permit. And the last one is if you're coming to study in Canada, you need a attested letter from province you are coming to study. This came in light because many students were coming to Canada. The college was supposed to take 40 students in that class. They have given admissions to 400 students. At the end of the day, students were suffering because the college has taken so many students and deferring them for next semesters. And this was issue that students are inside Canada, they cannot study, they cannot work, right? So these are the four major steps, four major changes they have came up and are in effect.
And what was the reason for this decision?
Actually, there are many reasons. Some people say this is political. I agree. This is political, but this is also a good policy. This is also a good step which was needed. The government is by the people, and people feel, the PR or citizen or people who are residing in Canada permanently, they feel that the they have opened doors for international students who are not genuine students coming in Canada from different means and different ways, and they are not like genuine students. So in the speech, the minister clearly said we don't want more Uber drivers, right? He meant to say that we want skilled people. We don't want people who are misusing, who are using this as just a way to enter Canada. They want students to come to Canada, study or go back, come to Canada, study, and apply for permanent residency or work if you're eligible. If you are eligible for any pathway, apply your PR. If you're not eligible, they don't want students who are not serious. With latest statistics, around 200,000 students are inside Canada who are not studying anywhere, who are not enrolled with any public or private university or college. They came on study permits and they are not studying.
So this would be also one of the major factors that influence this decision.
After so many years, after so many complaints, and government have seen these consequences, they got to know that there is a there's a some mess, some kind of mess has been created, and now it's time to fix it. So government has taken a step which is welcomed by majority of people in Canada. Yes, this was needs to be done before. Now they have done it, great. And the reason was, one of the reason is housing. We are facing housing crisis in Canada. Second is jobs. There are not enough jobs for people who are already PR or citizens in Canada. Third is inflation, and fourth is the unskilled people who are inside Canada. So they want people who are skilled, who are coming to Canada, who can contribute something to Canadian economy, who can. There are jobs, but there are not many people who can take up those jobs. That's why LMIs are issued, and employers want people, especially from other countries, to come and do that job. Because people who are coming, they don't want to learn, they don't want to take those jobs. Government has so many policies to boost up. If you want to learn something, government is there. There are organizations who are ready. There are platforms where you can go and learn. But if you don't want to learn, then there is no space. Like, this is what the government has cleared to everybody who wants to come as international student.
And how will this affect those students that have already applied to a college and they're expected to start May or June this year?
This will not affect anybody who is already inside Canada. This will not affect students who are coming now in May batch. For private colleges, which I just mentioned, this will came in effect for students who are coming to those private colleges in September 2024. This will affect those. Spousal open work permit, the day when they come up with the deadline. Before that, students who are doing 1 year or 2 year program, their spouses can apply. After the deadline, their spouses cannot apply. So this is majorly affecting students who will be coming in future.
Okay, so this means that the students that are currently here are protected,
Are protected.
already by the current,
Yes.
by the old rules.
Yes.
Now the current one will come into effect as of September 1st.
Yes, September 1st for private colleges.
Okay.
And spousal, we don't know the date yet. The spousal open work permit, the day we get to know the date, from before that date, anybody who is inside Canada studying can their spouses can apply. After that, they are affected.
I understand.
Okay. And the new students who are coming to do 1 year or 2 years diploma programs or
Mhm.
certificate courses, they cannot invite, their spouses cannot come to Canada on spousal open work permit.
Only masters.
Only masters
And
or
PhD.
PhD, their spouses can apply spousal open work permit. And this attestation thing is for all the provinces. So all the study permits are on hold. You should not apply study permits anymore. You cannot apply. Now, if you want to apply study permit from anywhere in the world, you need to get attestation letter from the provinces, and provinces are not prepared yet. So federal government has asked all the provinces to prepare a pathway or to prepare model to give attestation certificates to students. And once that is ready, then the students can apply for attestation. Once they get the attestation, then they can apply for study permits. So all the study permits for Canada are on hold. Like, we would not recommend you to apply right now. We recommend you to apply once you have the attestation from the province.
And in order to get this attestation, the students must have already the enrollment from
Yes.
the college. So the first step will still be enrolling to
Yeah.
the college, then getting
Then
the
attestation.
attestation. But that is also just in before the study permit is that they
Yes.
would need it.
Yeah. This will be like you have GIC, right? So
Yes.
last month there was update on GIC as well, and they increased the GIC, the amount of GIC you need. Last time the GIC was earlier the GIC was $10,000. Now they have increased to $20,000 and 600.
Yes, this came into
Yeah.
effect January 1st, I
Yes.
believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, major changes for the
Yeah.
students.
So
all
they are
around.
making it tough. They are making it tough. They want people with money and who are serious students who wants to come to Canada to study. Come to Canada like it was earlier before. Come, study, go back. This is what we declare in your SOP, right? That the purpose of coming to Canada is to study only. But if government has given you opportunity to apply for open work permit, PGWP, you work hard, take jobs, and if you qualify for any pathway for permanent residency, you apply your PR.
That's why also we've been seeing the increased scores for the CRS as well.
Yes,
Many of the people
is
that are
above
already here.
500, and
Yes.
it is one of the reason that everybody is worried what will happen, because people have got PR with 413 score, 440, 426, 440, 450, 430s, 450s, 480s was a great deal for everybody,
Yes.
and now 500 is nowhere, right? But my suggestion to everybody is, everyone, if your score is 480, 490, you are safe. Because if you check the people in pool, above 490, there is only 16,000 people. So in one good express entry draw, they invite 4,500 to 5,000 people in one good express entry draw. And if you need only three good express entry draws, if you get three good express entry draws, it's just, we have started with the year, you just get three good express entry draws, we are back to 490s. And anybody with 480, 490 is safe. If you have time to stay in Canada, like if your work permit is still valid, right, you are safe. Otherwise, the second option, the plan B is apply for 50 points LMI, ask your employers to support you with 50 points LMI. This is your plan B. But the students who needs to worry is the students who came after grade 12. They are the one who needs to worry, because they don't have graduation, they don't have work experience back home, they lose marks there. Then the only option they have, either LMIA given by their employer, or with that LMI you get 2 years of experience minimum in Canada, tier 0, 1 to 3 job, and amazing IELTS score or CELPIP score, amazing. Then you qualify for express entry. Otherwise, your only option is PNP, and there are so many PNPs. So you need to choose which PNP, which province you should move, and where your employer is supporting you. If your employer is supporting you in Alberta, move Alberta. If your employer is supporting you in Nova Scotia, go there. Wherever the employer is supporting, you can move. If you have tier 4 or 5 job, you can target Atlantic provinces, you can target British Columbia, right? So this is different PNPs are for different people and different professions. There's a whole new topic we can discuss in another podcast. But yes, it will be difficult now. And again, like I always recommend, you should only come to Canada, like, you are most welcome, everybody can come. Like, if you're coming after grade 12, don't come. The only reason is the maturity level you get after 3-4 years, after you go out, you do graduation, you go to the colleges in your home countries. After 3-4 years, when you're 22, 23 year of age, you're better or matured better than when you were 18, and then come to Canada. Not when you're 18 or 19. If you're coming when you're 18 or 19, come to Canada, but with a plan that this is you want to do, this is the province you want to move, this is the study you want to do, this is the career you want to choose, and this is where you will live, and this is how you will get your PR. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you. This Canada is not same as before. Things are tough. And my suggestion would be, come after graduation. If you are coming after graduation, try to come up with 1 year of Canada, your local home country experience. And if you choose to come after graduation and with experience, try to get masters. If you do masters, if you choose to do masters in Canada, then two provinces I would recommend. One is Ontario, one is British Columbia. And Ontario and British Columbia, there are few colleges, universities, which are qualified for PNPs. So if you do your masters from these universities, you can directly apply your PNP in British Columbia and Ontario. You don't need to worry about your PR. Directly, you can apply, you qualify to apply under master stream, and you get your PR in PNP in 6 months, and then after PR in 6 to 8 months. So 1.5, maximum 1 to 1.5 year, you get your PR. You don't need to worry about PR. You don't need to go through struggle. You don't need to go through finding an employer and PNP, LMI is no need. Only need you need to worry about is do your masters. It is expensive, no problem. If you can afford, come do your masters and then apply PNP, take your PR. And also your spouse can come as well, right? This is my suggestion. People, students who are planning to come to Canada.
That's interesting because a lot of people that I've spoken with seem to have the idea that Ontario is one of the hardest provinces to be. But as you were saying, you recommend that for the students specifically that are going to do master's or PhD.
Yes.
Jasveet, so the following question is from one of our followers of social media. He's an employer and he has a student with a postgraduate work permit currently hired in his company. He would like to support him as his employer for his LMIA. He's wondering what he needs to qualify for this.
Ashley, anybody who wants to support their employees with LMIA, there is a basic requirement for any employer. The first one is the company should be 1 year old, and the company should have minimum one person on the payroll. Okay, the situation changes from business to business. For example, restaurants who are just starting up, they cannot operate without chef, right? So situation changes. They don't need to wait for 1 year. They can apply right away. But normal businesses, the business has to be 1 year old, needs tax return for last year, PD7A, the payroll he's on, like he's running for the employee he has, minimum one employee, and the efforts he has made to hire somebody local Canadian PR or citizen for that position. It's so simple. If you have few basic documents, which we will share the checklist with if you are interested, uh, then the only requirement you need to do is you need to make efforts to hire somebody local. And if you're not able to find anyone local for that position, permanent resident or citizen, then you can ask ESDC. You can apply this. You can do this application, and we can do it for the employer. This application where we apply this to ESDC, that we were not able to find a local person, and we need this foreign national who is inside Canada or outside Canada for this job. And there are three types of LMIAs. One is only PR supporting LMIs, which gives you 50 points. Second is PR supporting LMI with work permit, that if you get 50 points plus you get your work permit. The third kind of LMI is only work permit. Okay, so students who are already inside Canada, like you said, that employer, he has PGWP holder was working for him. He needs 50 points LMI towards his PR. Plus, if he needs work permit, then the work permit will be changed to closed work permit. And if he doesn't need work permit, he has his PGWP valid for next 2-3 years or 1 year. He just needs 50 points. Then the employer can file 50 points LMI. And LMI, there is fees involved. So government fees for only 50 points LMI is zero. But yes, if you are doing 50 points LMI plus work permit, then there is a fee of $1,000 for ESDC. And if you're doing LMI only for work permit, then also $1,000 for that LMI. And if you're doing only 50 points, then you don't have to pay anything to ESDC. It's free.
And just to clarify, the $1,000 is per applicant, correct?
Per LMI.
Okay.
Okay, for each LMI. If you have 10 positions for same job title, then you have to pay $10,000.
Understood. Thank you so much.
No problem.
There's also another question here. So there has been some changes in the spousal sponsorship. In the past, it was not allowed to get the visitor visa. Can you just shed some light on the new updates now for those spouses that are separated and are waiting for the sponsorship to go through?
Yeah, this update was this policy came up last year where they have made some few changes where they said they've declared that you can now, your spouse who has applied for you have applied spousal sponsorship and the application is in process, they can come to Canada on visitor visa and then apply for work permit. Okay. Earlier, before this policy, if the spouse applies for visitor visa, they used to decline. They used to refuse the visitor visa, stating that your application is processed and you will not come back. You have strong ties in Canada. So now they have changed the policy, and now many of our clients, their spouse visitor visa is approved while the application is in process, and the spouse is in Canada and has applied for work permit. So this policy is amazing and good for people who apply for spouse sponsorship, because normally spouse sponsorship outline takes 1 year depending on country to country, and the spouses, they have to stay apart from each other, and then spouse in Canada cannot leave their jobs or cannot go back every month or after few months to back home to meet their spouse, and it's stressful. It's not easy. Like back home families, they want their child to go to live with the husband or wife in Canada. So it's difficult, but this new policy will be very helpful. This is very helpful for everyone. And spousal sponsorship applications, I just want to add, the spousal sponsorship application is a complex process. And anybody who wants to apply a spousal sponsorship application, I would not recommend doing it yourself, because I always hire a professional, always hire immigration consultants or lawyers who have experience in spousal sponsorship applications, because you have to convince a visa officer you have never met. You have to convince him through papers that this is a genuine marriage, You have to show your relationship. You have to give all the evidence to prove that this is a genuine marriage, and this marriage is not marriage of convenience. And there is so much fraud going on, and people are doing so many things, and the visa officers, they are trained in a way to check every application in a sense where this might be a fraud, this might be a marriage of convenience. So you need to prove all the relationship history, all the documentations needed. And there is a small checklist given by the government on the website, but we have a good number of points in the checklist that we want people to give and prepare the application. It is a complex application.
Not only that, it's so lengthy that if they do make any mistake,
Yeah,
it will increase that time, the
yeah.
processing
So
time.
so always I recommend, if your application is submitted perfectly, then it save the duration, it save the processing time. You make it easy for visa officer to make decision. If you don't give everything which is required, in the sense that to make things easy for visa officer, then he or she will have questions in mind, and to find those answers, the application will be delayed. You will actually, you will not believe, I have got two spousal sponsorship cases approved in record time, 2 months, 2.5 months, record time from India.
Wow.
The reason was the application was submitted perfectly, and normally from India it takes 12 months.
Yes, huge difference.
Right.
Always recommend to
Always
hire
recommended.
a professional.
Hire a professional, and the marriage has to be done. This is recommendation, but the culture wise, it's different in different cultures, different countries. But for India, I recommend get married religiously, get married by religion, by social, in the sense do a function, invite people like normally everybody does. And second is register your wedding and get it done legally. So if you have three documentations for legal, for social, and religious, you're good. Right? For different countries, that's a different scenario. But for India, I recommend this always.
In the same topic,
Hmm.
there is also another question regarding the finances.
Hmm.
I know that for spouses,
Hmm.
in certain cases, there has been some confusion of who needs to present the financials
Hmm.
and who does not.
Okay, the financial is the person who is sponsoring, is taking undertaking for the next 3 years, that the person they're sponsoring this, like for example, they're sponsoring their spouse, so they're taking for next 3 years undertaking that the spouse will be his or her responsibility. Okay, so he or she needs to show bank balance in his account and a job. If you don't have a job, you need to prove that how will you survive in Canada, right? And the person who is coming doesn't need to show, but if you can show as a together, okay, wife has or husband has money, and here also we have money, you don't need. There is no requirement for job. There is no requirement for your employment history, employment in Canada. But if you can, you need to prove how you will survive in Canada. You need to show the bank balance if you don't have job, and if you have job, great. And there is no minimum requirement.
There are many people in Canada currently out of status. What do you recommend for them?
Yes, this is actually amazing question and very important for everybody, because there is good number of people who are illegal and out of status in Canada. Yesterday, I got to know the statistics of students who came to Canada on study permit, and they are not studying in Canada in any university or college. That is 200,000 people. They came to Canada on study permits. They're not studying. Those all of them are out of status. People come to Canada on visitor visa. They don't go back. They go. They try to do different things. People come on different visas to Canada, and they don't find a pathway to get PR, and they go out of status, and they're working on cash. And when you work on cash, there are not enough jobs, and then you end up being exploited by the employers or people or landlords, or you end up in doing some criminal activity. Okay, and to make money, right? These are the challenges, but there is good number of people inside Canada illegally. So if you are out of status in Canada, if it has been 30 days, no problem. You can, if it is under 90 days, you can reinstate your status. Okay, you can apply either visitor visa, visitor record. You can apply study permits, work permits, anything with the restoration fee. Okay, this is possible. If 90 days have passed, then you can apply TRP, temporary resident permit. You can apply TRP with the reason why you went out of status, why you were not able to extend your status. Were you you had any medical condition, you had any financial condition, or any genuine reason, then you apply TRP and wait for There we have seen scenarios where officers have given extensions or officer have issued permits, but we need to apply and try and see if you have genuine reason you may get the permit, right? So this is second option. Third is spousal sponsorship. If you find any spouse in find your spouse or a partner in Canada, if you are living with them for 12 months, you can apply common law. And if you get married, then you apply spousal sponsorship. That's the third way. And fourth is humanitarian ground. If you're in Canada and you want to apply for permanent residency and you have solid evidence to prove that you are the one who deserves or who should be you should be given permanent residency under humanitarian ground, because of you have children and best interest of the child or seniors or you have health issues or whatever the reason, then you can apply HNC application. The fifth option you have, if you have threat to your life in back home and you can't go back home, you can apply a refugee application in order to save your life and go through a route, and where if the refugee is granted, they declare okay, it is proved, then you can apply for your PR. These are the five options I always recommend to everybody who's out of status, but at least work on them so that you get your decision. And if plan A doesn't work, then go for plan B. You should have these, like, don't sit and wait. Well, something will happen automatically. Nothing will happen automatically. You need to apply. You need to take your chance, and this is your life. You cannot wait and watch.
Will Canada stop immigration?
Honestly, I this is very very clear answer. Canada, I don't see Canada because stopping an immigration, because every country has their 3 years plan, 5 years plan, 10 years plan. If you check Canada's 10 year plan, they want immigration, and this is long term. Canada needs people, but Canada needs people with skills plus also with money. Canada will, like for now these days, Canada have started putting caps. Canada has started reducing and strict policies now, but Canada will never stop immigration. If you see, the Canada has put cap on international students, but not on immigration. So they still need 500,000 people every year. They still need the country needs to grow they increase the population, but they don't want, like, they are trying to put check and balance on what's happening in the country. But Canada will not stop immigration. They want quality people. They want educated people. They want people with skills, trade people. They want people with money. They want entrepreneurs. They want professionals.
Thank you, Jasveet, for all your helpful information. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact Jasveet Singh and his team at Sober Immigration. Please don't forget to subscribe, as we will have new videos coming soon.